stream. We were over at Ruel's stream, and they were doing fun things with their dog. But welcome. See the Moy's here, Legends DM, Board Game Feast.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Happy birthday to Mrs. Moy if she's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are playing a game that I really like, and we liked it so much that we gave it to one of my cousins in the Philippines. She lives in Japan, and it's like the whole game fits in this box. So it's like a really good one for if you live in a place with not a lot of storage. So
yeah. Yeah, it's one of our favorite just kind of more classic style card games, I guess you'd call it. I don't know if that's a classification we can use, but it's a really specific classification.
I just had a like a fudge-sicle, and that with wine didn't mix very well.
Oh, I also had a fudge sickle, and I was about to drink a little bit of this wine, and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a minute.
What did everyone have for dinner? Andrew made some really good pasta today.
Yeah, it was super good. It was enough supposedly for 4 people, but we ate all of it, so because it was that good.
Well, I think it was supposed to be like 4 portions, but we were like, let's just eat the 2 portions we were gonna save for lunch tomorrow.
Miss Moy says hi to everyone, and that she also loves Illimat. Yes.
Yeah.
We have played with both the Moy and the Mrs. Moy.
A couple people we've played this with. This one's just a good.
This is just a great one.
Oh, you know what? It's Board Game Feast who was asking about your chicken noodle soup of board games.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier this week.
Instagram.
Yes. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to play this. Andrew's like, what should we play for Back Shelf Thursday? You know, the games that we haven't played in a little while or only played once and then really didn't get a second play. And this one we haven't played, I think, since we were in the Philippines.
Yeah, it's been over a year. So, which is kind of our metric. I don't know, a year, 6 months, year. If it's been sitting on the shelf that long, then we consider that the back shelf. But yeah, it's a great one. It was one that I don't think we've ever introduced to someone and they just like it. I think every single person. And we've introduced it to gamers and people who don't call themselves gamers and everything between.
Yeah. One of the things I think I like about it is because it's kind of like a classic card game in that there's suits and even the pieces or the theme is not super well, I think the art is beautiful, but in terms of theme, it's not super like heavy-handed. There's some people in Andrew's family who don't like a lot of theme because they feel like it's too much of a toy, I think. They feel like, I don't know, they get, I think, not intimidated, but maybe self-conscious if there's too much theme, unfortunately. But we were able to, I feel like this is the type of game that it like sneaks up on you, like, oh, this is a modern game, but it doesn't feel like a modern game. It feels like something from, like, that's like a folk game or a game that's been around for years.
Yeah. Jonathan Japaya in the house. Good. Winston in the house.
Ooh, Winston is a really adorable corgi.
Jonathan, you guys need to. I know Winston has an Instagram, but you guys should start a Twitch channel for Winston. Because we literally right before this, we were in someone else's Twitch channel watching it, and they had their dog up in front of the screen, and we were almost late coming to starting our own channel because we were so preoccupied watching his dog fall asleep in their arms.
But Winston the corgi. We follow an Instagram account that's board games and corgis. So we love corgis. And also, Jonathan, I think you would find this interesting. But we met the publishers and the artist or the designer and the artistic director in Oregon. We've told the story before on the stream, but sorry, we're gonna repeat it.
We'll repeat some stories.
For like International Board Game Day in Powell's Books, and they were showing the game, and they were telling us the story that the band, the Decemberists, had like commissioned a board game. They wanted like a prop for a music video that looked like a game that like a secret society would play. So they commissioned, if you want to switch to the, actually no, they commissioned this board. Like it looks like this board. And then the band started touring and they got really into board games and they got connected with, I think, a friend or acquaintance that, and I'm probably just botching this story, but they wanted like this prop to become actual game. And then so they got connected with a designer and an art director and they basically made this game, which Andrew and I were skeptical because we were like, if the game was designed from
a prop,
how good would it be? But it's really good.
Yeah. Has anyone here, obviously the Moy and the Mrs. Moy, have played this, but anyone else here in the chat played Illimat before?
Board Game Feast says, love the folksy vibes. It makes it feel timeless. Yes, and the artistic director, the cool thing she was explaining was she was like, how do I
Pass me the box.
Oh yeah. How do I like evoke something timeless without making it super expensive or like I don't know, like she's like, how do you do that? And she was saying like definitely the material. So that's why it's fabric on silk screen and metal tokens. And she was just even saying like anything. I feel like the size of this box, like I feel like board gamers talk about how big like boxes, unnecessarily big board game boxes can be, and like even the fact that it's small and compact makes it feel timeless because it was before the era where everyone is like trying to get a lot of shelf space by making their board game boxes, huge without anything in it. But you want to flip to the other screen and we'll show them.
Hey, here we are. So right. What have you guys been playing this week? Any standout games or anything you've gotten to the table in the last week that you guys want to let us know about?
Board Game Feast, I want to try and make a pie for Pie Day. Your posts have been inspiring. I've only made pies through there's like a subscription meal kit we have that is local to our area. So it's like all the ingredients they try to source within like 50 miles of Seattle and then like neighboring big cities. So they've given us like we've made a apple ginger pie, which is really good because it has a little bit of that spice in the apple pie. You use like candied ginger. And then we've made, what else have we made?
There was the blueberry.
And blueberry. Yeah. But blueberry.
It was a blueberry lime cheesecake.
What?
Yeah, it was a cheesecake or cream cheese crust.
Cream cheese crust.
So there was cream cheese mixed in with the pie crust, and oh my gosh, I like blueberry pies, but they're not like my number one pie.
But that little bit of lime,
the lime and the cream cheese just made it.
I think because you like pies that are a little tart, so the fact that the lime made the blueberry just a little bit more tart was good.
Always a big fan of a tart pie.
Yeah, but I've never made a pie before like from scratch. I've always used this company, but
yeah.
Pie Club.
Hey, Cards and Dice. We are doing great.
We're talking pie.
And we're talking Illimat a little bit, which I feel like is a good thing to talk about with Illimat. Illimat is like the pie of board games, just tastes great. No one's gonna say no to it.
Cozy, yeah. Board Game Feast is prompt about what your cozy board game is.
Oh yeah. Also the chicken soup.
The chicken soup of board games to us at least. But the only physical game is Royal Visit, which has a cloth board. Do you know that game?
No, I don't know that game.
We do have the one other game that we have that has a cloth board is it an RPG?
Yeah, the Fall of Magic. If you guys have heard of it, there's actually a Kickstarter for the sequel for it right now. It's really, really cool.
Also, designer from Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest local design team. They screen print these cloth maps on scrolls, and the way the game works is you reveal the map as you go, and it's a role-playing game, so it's a lot of improv. But each location on the map, you can choose from a few different ones, and they give you a couple prompts. And each time you play it, you can kind of make up a little bit different world. But it's a really cool production, really kind of timeless feel. We've only got to play it once before, but we play a lot more board games than role-playing games in general. So.
But it was pretty funny, actually, because someone you knew was mentioning it, and Andrew, the board gamer he is, he's like, actually, I have that. I own it. And they were like, oh, I didn't. They were like, I haven't met anyone who, like, knows about the RPG without knowing this person. Like, you're just, like, the first person that is just, like, a random consumer. But, Cards and Dice, what have you been playing? We'll get going, but I definitely want to hear what you've been enjoying.
Yeah. So we'll kind of introduce you to the game a little bit. It's pretty straightforward. There's going to be 4 different areas here. Each of them are called fields. And then you'll notice that there are different seasons on the board. So we've got spring, winter, autumn, and summer. And I don't know if we can get...
I'm just going to try to zoom in here.
Well, we'll see. So this is winter, and we got spring. Although I noticed, yeah, I'm mirroring it now, so the words are going to be mirrored, of course. So it's going to look like totally different words. So, anyways, so each of these areas are.
Ooh, sorry about the delay there.
Has a different rule to it. So summer, anything is allowed.
Anything goes in summer.
Anything goes in summer. Any action can be played there. And then each spring, winter, and autumn have an action. And it's written right here, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were using the wrong board before.
Because the game, like, the whole game fits in this small box. But then the box is also used as part of the board. And so, yeah, it tells you the rules of each season here. And hi, Brain and Jar. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Welcome to the stream.
So then let's see. So yeah, winter you can't harvest, and we'll explain what all these are. Autumn you can't sow. Spring you can't stockpile.
Ooh, yeah, with the cards on there, it makes it bright.
Andrew's gonna turn down the light a little bit. Actually, it's this one that's giving us the problem.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, it's mirrored.
But yeah, we played this a lot when we were in the Philippines, and it's just a game. It's one of those games too that I realize you can kind of watch people play. And okay, this one's just gonna be a little bit, but we won't be able to change that. But you can watch it played, and they can kind of pick it up, and then the strategy, it has a good depth of strategy. So low rules overhead, and then some good strategy. So Andrew's gonna deal some cards. I want to show, like, these cards are. I just love, like.
Oh, you're gonna. Okay. You're gonna show me your cards?
No. But they have really great cards, and they have these cards here. Hopefully, you'll get to see them.
Here's an example of one. They've got some great art, so I guess we know this one's not going to be in the game. But they each have a name, and the name usually is related to a Decemberist song.
So also, yeah, Brain and Jar. I remember the other week we were talking about Decemberists and how that's such a big throwback. So it felt good that timed this on Throwback Thursday. But what I love about it, and I'll show it again, is so, like, this is the maiden, and sorry that it's flipped, but, like, the art actually does a really good job of representing what rule this activates. So you can't really see it very well, but it's a woman with, like, the symbol for winter in a cage. So basically what it means is the winter rule for that time is, like, not applicable. So it's like, I don't know, I just really like when iconography and art really support the rules of a game, just because I'm not super great at remembering rules. So I'm like, oh, this art is, like, giving me a huge clue.
Also, there's these really cool metal pieces. There's a little boat and a tooth, and then there's a couple more that come with the game. And you put in as many as there are players.
Well, here, okay, sorry, now we're just talking about all the lore, but each of the members, like the designer and some of the band members like suggested the different tokens, and I think the main designer, I'm not sure if this, somebody had like a giant bear tooth from a family, like I think their grandfather like found it and gave it to them, and so they have like a memory with like bear teeth or whatever. So that was one of the reasons why like a bear tooth was selected. Anyways, I just love this. This is like human flavor text. This is like real life flavor text right now. I'm sorry.
None of it's written on the board.
But we got to learn it because we got to play the game with the designer or the art director. But anyways, so we will keep going.
Also same designer and I think art director as Gloom. It's called Gloom. The little card game. It's a little storytelling card game.
And for the
I think is their
Decemberists
biggest.
albums, right? No, never mind.
No,
That's a different person.
Yeah, that's I think someone.
Okay, now I'm just making stuff up.
Oh, Ruel.
Oh no!
Is raiding.
They heard me making things up. Not oh no.
Raid.
Oh yeah. Hello, Raiders. This is the raid idol. It says hello, and it's updating you. Pia is making up lies. She's misremembering things. We're describing the game Illimat, which has been was designed by a team from Portland, Oregon, and we got the opportunity to chat with the designer and the art director, and we just been telling chat all about what we learned about art, like design and
yeah, things.
I'm
like
really not playing the game yet, so
these metal tokens here. Ooh, look at those. And the cloth mat. There's a lot of cool stuff in this. Yeah, we actually were. Funny story, Ruel. Right as we were about to start our stream was when Bruno came out and started falling asleep in Michelle's arms, and we were so focused in on how cute that was and watching that we almost started late. So
Andrew was laughing at Benny the Bits Bear, waking up Bruno, and it was a great time. It's so fun that we can be like 1 minute watching a stream and then jumping on our own stream.
Yeah. But thanks for the raid, Rel.
Oh, and thanks for the
always...
follow. Quicksand 2.
Oh, Quicksand 2. So we do analog alerts here. You already saw a raid idol, but this is Dr. Alan Grant.
I like Andrew.
There he is. He comes out and he says, oh, he's out of focus. He says, thank you for the follow, Quicksand 02. I was just working on digging up an ancient bear because I like bears and I like bones. So it's a lot of work, but thanks for the follow. I wanted to take a break and say hello, Quicksand, and see you later.
All right, on to the game. We've been chatting. Well, it's fun to chat on
We've just been warming everybody up here and with some chat time. This is actually a great game. It's pretty easy to chat while you play it. It's very in line with like a classic
card game.
Yeah.
And it was prompted by Board Game Piece's earlier question about like favorite cozy comforting games. This was one of them, and we were like, shoot, we haven't played it in a while. We should play it on Backshelf Thursday. So Andrew, should I go?
I was the dealer this round,
okay.
So you get to go.
I go first. Do you want to explain a little bit?
So basically in this game you have 3 actions that you can do. You can either sow, harvest, or stockpile. So sowing is easy. You just discard a card into any of these 4 quadrants. They call them fields. And then harvest is you play a card. So let's say you play a 5, and then that goes into your own personal area, and then you can pull out every card that is a 5 in one area or other cards that add up to 5. So you can combine cards into one number. So you're trying to get cards added up to cards that are in your hand. And then the final thing is you can stockpile, which means you're adding a card to another card.
And changing that value.
And changing the value of that card.
And then one of the cool things is there is a variant. If you want it to be not super complicated, you can remove these tarot size cards. They give a different rule that's added on once they're activated. So that was what the art director had said. It's like if you're playing with like non-gamers or just kind of newer to the hobby, you can just remove these and not throw something new at people. But we'll show you. The art's super pretty, and I just love the like really limited color palette of this game. But we will start. So I will play, and the way things score is like you get points for most cards, you get points for the most summer cards, you get negative points for the most winter cards. Apparently we are anti-winter in this game, which I don't like the cold, but I love winter, so I don't know. I love snow, I guess. I don't know if I love winter. And then I think the last one is each of these, if you win these tarot cards or these little metal, what they call Ocus tokens, you get extra points. But we'll show you a round of scoring. You play until the whole, like, I don't know, the whole board is clear, and then you score, and then usually you play up until 17. So you can play a couple of rounds, actually. It goes quite fast. So, for example, I'm going to play this 9, and then I am going to grab this 9 over here, matching the 2 9s, and then I draw up to 4 again. And it's Andrew's turn.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Big Heap Wampum!
Whoa, what up? All right, so I'm going to play this King of Winter. He's a 13, and I can grab the 9 and the 4 that add up to 13. So all those cards are mine. And because I played the King of Winter, it changes the seasons.
So this becomes the winter section.
So this becomes the new winter.
And Andrew, that was for example, that's a better turn for Andrew because he got 3 cards while I only got 2 out of that turn.
Yeah.
And then he draws back up to 4. So I'm going to go here. There's no restrictions in summer. Anything goes in summer. So I'm going to play this 10 to grab this 10. And then Andrew's turn.
Mm-hmm. All right. The thing that's always the most confusing about this game is you play one card to grab multiple cards, but I keep wanting to play multiple cards to grab one card. When I have low cards, it's always the thing I want to do, but
Yep.
I can't do that.
There's like definitely a strategy to it where if you like you can start with certain, like if you know you can get it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna play a 5 to grab this 5 here.
Okay. So let's see. We're doing mostly just matching at this point. I'm playing a 12 to get a 12. And then
I am going to... Oh man, there's such high numbers out there.
yeah.
It's messing me up. I'm gonna play a 2 into. So that's
You can't.
I can't sew. It's autumn there. I can't sew there. Oh.
So
and
what Andrew just did is sew, which is just basically discard a card into a field, but he can't do that.
I'm sewing into spring.
He's sewing into spring. So then I'm gonna play this game. So I'm gonna show. Oh my gosh, I was gonna show how to stockpile, but I can't stockpile there. How about this? I can do it.
Show him how to play, Pia.
I can't. I can't. Let's see.
Although I want to know in Ruel's stream who won. They were playing Via Magica, which I never heard of actually. Looked like a pretty cool game.
I'm gonna go here and just matching. We're just playing a very straight game right now.
So I'm gonna play a 10 to grab this 8. It's 2. So I set myself up for that. But the thing is, you can set yourself up for things, and it can blow up in your face because someone else can grab those cards before your turn.
This is true. Shoot. I guess I will go with. There's so many 11s out there. That sucks. 2.
Ruel won with an asterisk. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Your win has an asterisk?
Did someone accidentally cheat? Or did you get a rule wrong? Or were there a few forgiveness moments that had to happen? Some takebacks?
Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump this card here because I don't want Andrew to get it if he happens to have a 3, because winter does not allow harvests. So that's a way to, like, because we start a new round once we all run out of cards.
Also, for everyone who just joined us, we always love hearing what people have been playing this week. Physical, digital, board games, anything. But if there's something you've been into this week and want to let us know, we love hearing about it because we love hearing about new games. Yeah, all these 11s. What in the world is going on?
Oh, it was a game setup rule issue they corrected before the end.
Oh, okay.
Today I played Clank and Dominion. Dominion is a game that we was one of the games that we got into the hobby, where we were like, we played it and we were like, this is what games can be. And then Brandon.
And I love Clank too. We have the Clank Legacy sitting on our shelf waiting for the pandemic to be over so that I can propose to play it with some people. And Brandon Jar's been playing Orleans and Railroad Inc. a lot. Ooh, Railroad Inc. That's a quick one. That's a fun one. I have Orleans, have not played it yet.
So I'll just show the example, and you might not be able to see it because of the glare, but this is the 5 I'm stockpiling by putting a 2 here. And if I stockpile, ooh, the glare. If I stockpile, it means that when I place it here, I have to have the number. I have to have a 7, so it's a 5 and a 2. I have to have a 7. No,
like this.
No, that's exactly.
Thank you. Which then flips over this card. It's the river, and I get to take one of these cool metal tokens, which are worth. They're a point at the end of the round.
So that's kind of the danger of stockpiling. It's like, if you're paying attention to people, you might be able to guess what they have, but I really couldn't get rid of my 7 in my hand unless I made a 7.
And then this refills.
A 7 on the board, but that means Andrew could and did sweep in there and get it.
Griffdog's been playing some Raiders of the North Sea and Root. I love, and on Steam, I love Root. It's one of my favorite games, especially the app is, if anyone hasn't had a chance to try the app, highly recommend it. If you like a little bit more conflict forward game, Root is where it's at. But also, Raiders of the North Sea I have not played yet, but we do have Raiders of Scythia, which I am told is very similar. So we really enjoy that. So I'm guessing we would probably like Raiders of the North Sea.
Board Game Feast Orleans, is that the way that they pronounce it? I was in, I think it was Benita's stream, and she was talking about bag builders, and I had mentioned that I had played.
Is it your?
No,
turn?
I just went Altiplano with the Moy who's in chat, and then I was like, I think that's the only bag builder we have, and then Andrew's like, no, we have Orleans. I was like, oh man, this is what happens when you don't do the purchasing. You're like, we don't have that game, and Andrew's like, we do. We just haven't gotten a chance to play it. So then what I did, because in this section, spring, we're not allowed to stockpile, which means combining 2 cards, but I can so I can drop it in here, which is what I did. And now I'm going to play the 7 to add the 3 and the 4 to take this, and I got.
Oh. Board Game Feast says they really want to try Altiplano and pair it with some Peruvian food. That sounds amazing.
Andrew got to, you grew up with some Peruvian food, go into the Moy's house.
Oh yeah, it was always good. I always liked the flan, or the Peruvian version of flan, I guess. And then there's always tons of cookies my mom never made. there weren't anything like what happened at my house. So
You were like, why? You just like your mom would never be able to make cookies like this, and you're like,
yeah,
you
they were
only
great.
get them at the Moy's house.
Yeah, they were a lot less sweet, which is maybe one of the reasons I don't like super sweet cookies.
Yeah, that might be it.
So I set myself up over here. I put a 3 on a 5, and so I have an 8. And that allows me to grab this and to grab this. Thank you very much.
Raina Jar says, y'all will love or Leon when you finally get a chance to play. I want to play Altiplano. Yeah. And then Griff Dog, Root is deceiving, an asymmetric war game hidden in a cute package. Very true.
It really is.
What's your favorite faction, Griff Dog, or anyone who has played Root? It was one that actually Andrew told me about the designer and how well known he is for making good like war games. And I remember trying it, and I played it actually first time with the Moy and Andrew. I think I was the vagabond, and I think I was just scared all the time. I was afraid that people would attack me, so I was just like running around. But ever since the pandemic hit, I feel like that's the game we've played digitally a lot with friends, and it's been very fun to just like play a game a lot. We don't usually get to dive deep with some games. It would be something diving deeper in games is the goal.
Root is definitely a one as much as I've played it more than most games, I want to keep playing it. It's endlessly interesting because you want to get good at each faction, and then there's just so many factions. We have the expansions, of course. Do you need to?
Well, actually, I realized.
Didn't do the river. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do. So Andrew unlocked this by clearing the whole field of cards. And then there's a new rule that is added. So the river, when the river is revealed, deal 6 cards into the river's field instead of the usual 3 cards. Oh shoot!
So there should have been 3 more cards. Here we go.
If at the end of your hand you have claimed the river, and you have claimed the river and you are frostbit, what's that?
I don't know.
You gain 2 points instead of losing 2 points. Oh, that's awesome.
Got it, yeah.
So at the end of the scoring, you lose points if you have too many snow cards, too many snowflake cards. But the river prevents you from getting negative points. And when I first learned this game, I was trying to avoid the snow cards or the winter cards too often. But I do remember the designer was saying, don't think about it too much because it's kind of like a higher level strategy. But I think I spent too much time focusing on that rule.
Griffdog says he likes the Corvids and the Woodland Alliance to battle it out. The Vagabond, when I want to run around and have some fun, yeah. The Vagabond kind of like releases you from the typical struggles of the forest. But the Corvids, we've got to play twice with them, and they are so interesting. For anyone who doesn't know, they are a conspiracy faction, and they play all these tokens face down, and if you can, as the other players, guess what those tokens are correctly, you can remove them, and I think get points from it. And so if you know the person who is playing that faction well, you can kind of predict what they would do or how they might play some tokens, and you can kind of deduce based off of what has been played up to that point. It's a really fun faction to play against. But if they sneak something past you, then they really devastate the area.
So Andrew, I have a quick question. Too. So I want to play a 12 in the autumn section. Mm-hmm. So I can add any number of cards, right? So here's a 6, a 4, and then a 2. So I can take all of these. Yeah. Okay.
Dang. Okay. I am going to...
This is also a game we really like to play when we were... No! I just handed that to you.
I get the river. Thank you. This switches to spring.
So Andrew switches it to spring because he played a face card that had a
spring on it.
Oh, spring card, yeah.
And then that corner does not refill because the tarot size card is off the board.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this 3 to grab this 3. Yeah, but we played this. Since it's so small in size. Pre-COVID, we had it in our car and would play it at coffee shops. We actually like played it when, if anyone's been to Portland and has tried to eat at places that are well liked, you sometimes have to wait outside, and so we're like, well, it doesn't matter to us. We'll put our name in. I forgot what was the restaurant we were trying to get in, but it was kind of close to the Airbnb we were staying at. And then it was like a really short. It felt like a short 45 minutes because we were just playing this game. Let's see. Ooh, no. Really? Yeah, so let's see. I am gonna put these in. I'm gonna put this here in winter so Andrew can't grab it.
What? Taking things. Alright. I'm gonna put this here in summer. Yeah. We're just shedding cards right now because we don't have cards that can grab other cards.
Yeah, I'm just hiding my cards. I'm keeping my cards away from Andrew. Just putting them over here.
Well, I finally got the knight. Those are you're taking my cards.
No,
these are my cards.
Oh no! I hope I haven't been grabbing yours.
Bia's cheating over here, so if she wins, it's gonna definitely be with an asterisk.
I don't know why the draw deck is so far from me.
It's because it was on camera.
Oh, I see.
So this flips over, and it's the rake.
Oh. We played, the expansion in this is actually really nice. It just
I do wonder how many of those cards you stole from me.
I know. You want to look at them?
I wouldn't remember.
Giant asterisk.
Well, I'll go watch the VOD after this.
No!
We'll find out.
Your card... What? You can just stick it, or you can stick it face up so then we can...
Whoa, you want to look at my cards?
Only so that I know that is your discard. The rake. Once during your turn, you may sow one card into the field containing the rake. You may do this at any point in your turn, either before or after your play. This ignores restrictions of the season. Sowing a face card in this way will change the season as usual. When you claim the rake, each player must give you one summer card from the harvest pile if they have one. Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, neither of us have claimed
that. Brain and Jar. There's always one person in every couple that is the inadvertent cheater. Is that you, Pia? It might
Big
be.
Heat Wampum forgiveness moment. This is the weekly forgiveness moment brought to you by Big Heap Wampum. We may have an alert that we're making for our forgiveness moment. Pia is against it happening, but I am very much for it happening.
It's because Brayden Jar is right. I'm probably the one who is just
who needs it.
Yeah, it's because the thing is Andrew has read the rules and teaches the rules, so that's a double amount of like learning.
Stealing cards from someone has nothing to do with knowing the rules. That's all I have to say.
That's true, but your stack was looking like the draw pile. Why is it next to the draw pile?
It's not next to it. It's in front of me.
Forgiveness moment. And then, I don't even know whose turn it is.
I think it's
mine. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to grab this. Okay. And there's no more draw pile.
No, yeah. Okay. I'm going to grab this.
Those. And then oh, summer is available now. So let's see.
Oh, wait. I couldn't do that. You're right.
Because it's winter.
Because that's winter.
You can't harvest there.
I can do this.
Oh, great. Wait, you showed 2 cards though.
No, it was just the 10, and then I grabbed 6 and 4.
Oh, got it. I see. I'm grabbing.
Trying to pretend like I'm cheating over here.
I feel like we need to throw this. You know what? We're gonna look at the VOD. We're gonna look at it and we're gonna see. Also, I learned what VOD stood for.
I'm just gonna put this in here, and then that's gonna change to summer.
Were these sewing?
Yeah, I just sewed it into winter. I had
Okay.
nothing else to do.
Oh my goodness. I just don't know what Andrew's cards are, so I'll just put it here. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that is that. We'll just get rid of the rest of our cards. All right. So now we count up our score. First, we count up the number of cards, which may not be accurate. 1,
4,
22.
21.
Hey, I still got it. Despite your best efforts, I get 4 points. Moving on up.
And remember, and so it's 1st to 17 is what we're doing.
All right, so next is the most summer cards.
Oh no, this is such a disappointment because we were playing it earlier and I was doing really well.
All right, I have.
This is not good. The number, the length of time you were counting.
4, 5, 6, 7 summer cards.
I have 4.
Hey, 2 points for me.
No.
All right, now it's winter cards. You get negative points for having the most winter cards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this game scales really well because there's a whole hand of
5.
Oh, I'm going negative. I don't know if it's
I don't
a
think
never.
you can go below 0.
Okay. But this game scales well because there's just a whole nother deck that we add with a not whole nother deck, but a whole nother set of like a suit, I guess, that you add when you have a player count of more than 3, I believe.
And then 1 point per fool, metal token, or luminary card.
Okay.
2.
Fool. A fool of a toque. Big Heap Wampum. I was telling Andrew that I probably need to cut his hair. And for the folks at home, the last time I cut Andrew's hair was the first time I ever cut hair. And it was when I was in early labor. And Andrew's hair was like down to here. And I watched a YouTube video and I probably should have like shaved his hair first. Wait, sorry, I forgot to. I'm like going into the story.
Oh, I grabbed some of your cards.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought you were done.
Did you start shuffling those? We're a mess.
They're pretty.
No, my fools were out. Oh, there it is. My fools. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, you have 3 points.
I need those 3 points. But anyways, I was cutting Andrew's hair, and then a couple hours later, my water broke. But it took forever to cut because it was so long, and what I should have done is shaved a little bit of the hair off, and then cut it because it was so long. But the example that the YouTube video gave was someone with already pretty short hair. But it took like almost 3 hours to cut his hair. And so Andrew was like, if you're gonna cut my hair, Pia, we're gonna watch Lord of the Rings, and we're gonna see if you can finish cutting before the Lord of the Rings extended edition finishes.
I just want something to do while you're cutting the hair. You know? I don't mind that you were doing it. It was very nice, and it was a good job.
But Andrew wants to create a game out of it, or can I finish cutting his hair before the Fellowship? What is the end of the first episode?
The breaking of the Fellowship.
Yeah, can I cut it before the Fellowship breaks?
So yeah, we've got Wordman says I put a bowl over his head and cut everything underneath. It's a classic bowl cut. That's
actually
coming back maybe.
You know what? I think
we can bring it back. If
I think we should. I think we should start with that and then move from there.
And then Legends DM is in the house. He's in spam.
Getting
what a better thing to do.
Grip Dog said getting into the spam vibe. That's a long haircut. It is. It's when you don't know what you're doing, you're like hesitating the whole time.
You're dealer this time.
Okay.
And then also, Legends DM eating spam. Oh, what was I gonna say? I had a question for. Oh, is anyone playing a game along with us, having us in the background? We'd love to know what's being played.
If you're playing.
If you're playing.
Yeah.
Which
I know sometimes when I watch streams we played Power Rangers for the first time during, I can't remember, I think it was Amanda Panda's stream earlier today. And I was gonna try and paint during Book of Nerds' mini painting session, but I ended up having to feed the baby at that time, so I watched West Wing during that time. What else did we do? Yeah, so we played Power Rangers a few rounds because hopefully we can play with our neighbor Tricky 20.
Yeah, new a guest star coming to the stream.
And then so that's usually what I'm doing. I mean,
yeah, but we got Valheim being played. Board Game Feast is playing Valheim, and I've heard such good things about it. I think our PC could run it, but I want to have a crew that play it with, because it seems like a good not party game, but a game to play with time. A party. Yeah. And Legends GM says just got off work, went to the game store and got a spam plate. Nice. I love how much spam stuff is at your game store. It's probably just the benefit of living in Hawaii, I guess.
We have a buddy that's opening up a game store, which is just anyone that's opening up a business during this time. It's a tough gig, so we're gonna try and support him. But maybe we should say, hey, we know a game store that sells spam merchandise.
You need a spam corner.
Treats. I think you need to do the perfect business model for you for your game store. It should be modeled after a board game store. A game store in Hawaii that we know.
Legends DM, I bought Cat Rescue co-op board game and also the Andrew and the Giant graphic novel. Oh, Andrew and the Giant.
A graphic? James and the Giant.
James and the Giant Peach. Oh, Andrew and the Giant.
Andrew's trying to...
I'm just trying to... Andre the Giant. There we go.
Oh, wait a second. Legends, is that what Ruel had mentioned before in his stream? Now I'm like, I don't know if I'm remembering it at all correctly. Biggie Wampum says I'm playing Chinatown by myself so I can learn how to think like my enemy.
Biggie Wampum, do you win the negotiations often playing by yourself or not very often? I'd love to know how that plays solo.
I heard a lot of
You went?
No, it's your turn first.
Yeah.
Big Heap Wampum and Andrew have played Chinatown with our niece and nephew, and they're tough with them. They don't hold back just because they're children. They're tough negotiators.
These restrictions on the seasons.
Grip Dog says Andre the Giant graphic novel is great. Andre, I think it was. Yeah, it was Ruel. Yeah, the true story of Andre. I do remember that. The graphic novel.
All right, I'm gonna play 9 and grab 7.
The draw pile is now here, so that no more forgiveness moments need to be to be given.
Yeah, but look, this big empty space on the camera. It's an eyesore.
I'm sorry, camera.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry that it's an eyesore.
Look at that. There we go. We'll just set the rule book right there.
Oh, okay. Here might not be a good idea, but I'm gonna do it just because I want to show the folks at home what a risk that may not. Actually, dang it, it's not gonna work. It's winter. I won't do it. I'll try it next time. I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna grab the 12. So I can finish this section. Flip over the new rule. Grab a metal token.
The Union. That's the one where you get to use 2 cards.
Yeah. Right? So let me show. So this is what I was talking about with the art being really great hints for what the rule is. So there's these two characters are holding 2 cards. So that means you can play 2 cards to retrieve a card here instead of only 1. And then I'm going to reseed is what they say. Reseed the field.
Ooh, Griffdog says I need to go to the game store run this weekend. Surrealist Dinner Party should be out soon.
What is that?
Please tell me what that is. That sounds very fun. Very crazy. And then Legends DM, they only have 2 spam plushies left.
Out of 4.
Oh no.
I need to.
Do they have an online store?
Ask them if they ship. We should probably just find what. Actually, I don't know who would have spam merchandise. The Moy says the number of times I pull off a sick move in a game only to find out it's in a season that doesn't allow it.
That's why it's still available.
The rage bow is exactly the feeling. It for some reason I don't know how the game works that way. Your turn.
Oh.
How it works that way where like the perfect move is in the location you cannot do the move in.
Okay, I'm gonna play 11. Watch this. 6 and 5.
Ooh.
Bada bing, bada boom. And it was the summer. Oh, it's already summer there.
Griffdog says a new card-based game where you are hosting a dinner party of surrealists. Should be releasing any day. The art is great. Big tarot size.
Ooh, I love tarot size cards. As we play this game here with our giant tarot size cards.
The more I feel like what you're saying, it could be if there was a thing called Illimat memes. We could make some
hashtag.
We could make some out of your comments right now. The one time you actually want to sew, nah, it's autumn. I never want to sew, and for some reason, it's always in autumn. That's so right. Because sewing just feels, it's like the last thing you want to do because you're basically like throwing it away. At least if you're stockpiling, it means you have a plan to grab it, though you are setting someone up to possibly get those cards. But I've just been chatting and not thinking of my plan. Okay.
Hashtag Illimat memes we'll get it trending. Please get it trending.
I'm gonna grab this.
Ooh, here we go. What up? We got a 13. King of Summer coming in. Oh no, it's 14.
Yes.
Dang it. My math. Shh. I don't have a 13. You didn't see that.
The next thing is, I mean, Andrew, he got a lot of points last turn, but I can catch up. I have been able to catch up with this much of a lead. Ooh, Andrew played 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, thanks, Andrew.
No.
I'm gonna grab that.
Take all those winters into your hand. Yeah,
that's true. But the best part is I can turn this around. I can grab a metal token. The Forest Queen. Ooh, the Forest Queen is one of my favorite cards. I don't really remember what she does, but look at her. I feel like Mrs. Cool. Moy is the Forest Queen. She's the plant lady, aka Forest Queen. It's a controlled burn, Andrew.
I guess that is important for a healthy forest.
Okay, so the Forest Queen. Where's the? The Forest Queen.
Sow some more seeds here.
Let's see.
Legends DM, I think BoardgameSPAM is my newest chat hangout in March. Yes.
We love that you're here, Legends. It's always summer in the field of the Forest Queen. When the Forest Queen is revealed, turn the Illimat so it's summer. It is summer. As long as the Forest Queen is on the board, the seasons do not change for any reason. When you claim the Forest Queen, you may immediately turn the Illimat to any new position. So as long as this is in play. Yeah. Legends, I always like the reminder that I could be eating spam at any time if I want, if I planned, because you always mention that you're eating it. And it's definitely a comfort food for me because I just grew up eating it for breakfast, for lunch. At one point, I don't know if anyone's ever done this before, but I remember in high school, I fell asleep on the couch, woke up, and it was kind of like right when it was getting a little bit dark, but it wasn't fully dark yet. And my family was eating spam
13.
and spam, eggs, rice, probably like fish, which in the Philippines, that is very much a breakfast and it could also be a dinner. I thought it was breakfast. I thought I had slept through dinner and it was like breakfast time and I was about to miss the school bus. And like freaked out. My parents and my grandma and my sister, they just silently kept eating and saw me running around the house gathering all my stuff for school, like putting my stuff in my backpack. I think it was just must have been just a really good nap. So it felt like it was the morning, but yeah, our breakfast kind of looked like dinner, so it's a little confusing. Um let's see. I definitely felt so panicked. Ooh, no. Dang it. Can't do that move.
Deep in
Yeah.
the mind palace.
Let's see.
Considering all options.
Leave me alone. I'm thinking.
What will she pick?
I don't know if I wanna.
We did have spam for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today.
It was great.
Sorry. I need to.
Ooh, time to tear off the shrink of Cat Rescue. Yeah, I've not heard of that one. Is it a small box game? I'm just assuming from the cat theme, but
Hey now, what if there was a cat?
Isle of Cats is a big box game.
I mean, Twilight Imperium in my mind.
Ooh,
the cat
Twilight
game.
Imperium. Yeah, okay. Best cat games in the chat. Let's hear it. Twilight Imperium is a great pick.
I remember Andrew was telling me about
Space
Twilight
cats.
Imperium, and he was just saying you need to just look at this cat on the box. I sewed.
Mm-hmm.
Calico is a good one. Calico gives me major analysis paralysis. I was watching Amanda Panda's stream, and she was mentioning how she plays it. She's only played it on digital, which is like one crazy, but also it makes sense. That I feel like it's a pretty good implementation.
Ooh, Olympian's here. Hey, friend. Sorry, cut you off.
Hey, Olympian. Oh man, that cat emote is great. I know it's a co-op, and I don't know anything else. Was chatting with Tate, the designer.
Ooh, nice.
Calico's dope.
Calico's dope. Yeah, so Imperial, we're talking about best cat games. And that could be cat themed games or just a cat on the box. We were talking about Twilight Imperium as one of the first ones.
Yeah, Book of Nerds said I wanted to get it for me and Lorena. I've also only played it on digital. Yeah, that's like
interesting, yeah.
It's interesting because I realized there's a couple of games I've only played on digital too, and I couldn't say that before the pandemic, right? But digital is a nice way to like try out some games. Because when I saw her opening it, I remember thinking, I'm so excited for her to have the experience of playing the physical copy. Just because tiles, because they're smaller than cards, there's something about the tactility of like the tiles that make it feel so much more special. But it's funny. I've heard people say like, "Oh, I'm excited for you to read this book so that you can experience reading this book." And I remember thinking like, I'm excited for Amanda to play Calico in physical copy because it's just so pleasant to like play with the tiles.
The tactility is so great. And then the recessed board where you slot in the tiles feels great.
So good. So delicious.
So delicious.
5. Ooh, okay, so I have a 9. So I can get this 5 and this 4.
Dang. I've got a 14 over here.
No!
Coming in to grab the 11 and 3. I did add it up correctly this time. We're not changing the season, but I do get the Union.
And that doesn't refill, correct?
No, yeah. Once the big card is gone. Cat Lady's great. Yeah, Cat Lady's a great little light game. We are huge fans of AEG here. They're not like instant buys because there's ones I don't own, but
You have to really.
I really have to
stop
think
the-
about it. You know, I have to stop and think about it a lot.
I remember playing Cat Lady and just texting pictures of the cards to so many people. I was spamming them hard. I was like, I need to leave some people alone. But these cards are so cute and so funny.
Detective Charlie is a female cat detective board game. Cat detective board game.
What?
That's a great sentence right there. I have been playing with my girlfriend, but it now has 6 cases that are one shots. That sounds great. Is that maybe in the same vein as Consulting Detective, Sherlock Consulting Detective? We played 1 or 2 scenarios of that in the past. Thought it was a pretty cool experience.
Okay, I'm scared about.
Ooh, Griffdog's talking about Isle of Cats. I have not had a chance to play that. I've heard such good things. We love polyomino games, and so Isle of Cats I think would be a home run for us. I'm gonna sow a 2.
The Moy. So many cat games now. I know how to get Tricky 20 to play a game other than Age of War. That's true. Trying to get Tricky 20 to play something other than Age of War is a tough one. But
Age of War is a great game. Dr. Knizia, he makes them good.
But he was interested in Power Rangers, which we played a little bit of it, and it is so fun. I feel like turns are so fun, and I was definitely fangirling over the art. And Andrew, it's your turn.
Oh, I thought I just went. I sewed.
You sewed? Okay.
Yeah, in summer. Olympian asked if we think conventions will make a comeback this year, like Gen Con. I've never been to Gen Con.
Have you been to Gen Con? Or is anyone in there in the chat?
I think Gen Con is summertime, right? Or is that the one? Is that in fall? There's 2. There's one in summer, one in fall that are big. Remind me which one's which. I've mostly just gone to Shucks.
And by mostly meaning one time.
My fingers. Maybe Shucks will be there. But I guess whether or not the Canadian-American border will be open is another question. Yeah, so who knows? You know, I would love conventions to come back whenever possible. When it can be done safely, of course. But I do miss them. And then
your turn.
Weird Nin. Does keeping my cats off the table during a game count as a cat game? It does. We played the same one. The hard part is when you leave a game set up and she takes over the table.
Oh man, Book of Nerds says it does. It adds a dexterity component to any game. Man, Book of Nerds has a great, very interested cat named Comet that joins in on the game. Moose usually does not jump in on a board game when it's actively being played, but she does walk on it when we leave it out, and that's on us being there. She really shouldn't be on the coffee table or the it's our game table, but also our like dinner table. But
I stockpiled.
No, Andrew, what are you doing?
Marquis de Cat faction and Root, Griffdog's calling out. Yeah,
yes.
That's another good one.
The something I'm super excited about that just happened. I sewed this 10 card because I had 2 10s in my hand, and I just really hoped that Andrew didn't have a 10. It didn't seem like he had a 10. Sorry, I wanted to bring attention to that.
Yeah, and then Olympian says he's been to Gen Con 3 times. Well, the last 3 fiscal years, yes. I missed most of the digital conventions. And then Moy went to Shucks for the first time in 2019. So much fun. Really missed going again in 2020. Yeah, that was a big disappointment. We were there, and it was tons of fun. We got to play our first mega game, which was awesome.
Has anyone played a mega game before? Oh, I wish that we could...
The Forest Queen is off the table, by the way.
Oh,
you can change the seasons whenever you'd like.
Oh. The mega game sounded like a lot of fun. We heard about it. Me and Mrs. Moy and another spouse of, or another friend whose spouse was also going to Shucks, hung out and went to all the restaurants and all the wineries. It wasn't, I guess, technically a winery. Anyways, we just hung out in Vancouver, BC, and I love BC. We love BC. It's one of my favorite cities in North America. So, any excuse.
Legend GM says Detective Charlie is really light, which is 8 suspects each case, and you try to find the culprit. It's light, and my girlfriend likes it, so I'm in since she is not into games as much as me. Yeah, Legend GM. I think there's only a few of us that are into games as much as you, which is a good thing.
I feel like that's the same with you. Like, there's really no one that could keep up. I feel like we
have to come to Twitch to find each other.
Yes, that's true.
And then Legend GM says Gen Con is fall, and Olympian's like, what? You would love it. It's early fall, like August. Legend CM went to Gen Con. Board Game Feast shucks only for them too, and then Olympian's been 3 times. Yeah. I would love to go to more convention.
Oh, Book of Nerds said I always wanted to try a mega game. Almost drove down to San Diego to play once. My goal is to go to Essen sometime, maybe 2022.
Ooh, Essen. That's the big one.
Where is that?
Germany.
Oh, well, I guess Essen, Germany. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know if Essen was like a game, like a name of a convention. But
both actually.
The name and the location.
Did you sew into the summer?
I did sew into the summer. The mega game. Book of Nerds. What was your guys's
I'm gonna sew into the summer as well.
Actually, Andrew's thinking, so maybe the Moy will chime in. What was the name of your guys' ship? Or what was like your?
Oh, we were the harvesting. So we did it's like a Den of Wolves was the name of it, and it's loosely kind of Battlestar Galactica ish themed. And so you each play on teams of ships that are trying to keep the fleet alive, but there's hidden traitors among you, the wolves. And they're not technically Cylons because of copyrights and all that, but it was great.
But the funny part, Book of Nerds, was that because they were like a farming ship, they decided that they're like, let's intimidate the other players.
Whoa. We did not do it to intimidate anyone.
It was mind games, Book of Nerds. But
that makes us sound crazy.
They bought fluorescent green John Deere hats, and Andrew borrowed like a Carhartt like overalls that my cousin uses to do like lawn work, and they went heavy on the costuming, the farming theme.
There was an entire team, the Galactica team, whoever was at the head ship, they fully dressed up as Battlestar Galactica uniforms.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
you told
really
me that.
cool.
That's
yeah,
really fun.
I think they might have dressed up more than they were very good at the game, but that was all right. They were very giving people, which made the
betrayal.
They gave all the other ships a lot of stuff, but never had enough to defend us when the bad guys showed up. So it was there's lots of losses, and there was a time where half the fleet flew away into another room, and one of our ship people crew was on one of those ships when it jumped out of the system, and so they were separated from us.
You and the Moy.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because I just remember you all had your big John Deere bright green hats, there's a picture of you. I think it was the Moy who took the photo, and it's like you guys like getting onto the Sky Train, and you had your like fluorescent green.
It looked really cool.
John Deere farming hats.
Like local Vancouver.
I feel like if you guys are walking around in Vancouver wearing those bright green hats, I'd be like, I'm not gonna walk anywhere close to them. But you said that it was great for finding each other in the crowd.
It was. It made it easy to find each other. I think it's your turn.
I played.
Gen Con's website says 147 days. You think so?
Yeah.
Badgers are on hold though. Yeah. Probably they're gonna wait and see. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Where restrictions are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna play 13.
Yeah, I was scheduling myself for a vaccine dose, and like originally they were like your appointment is set for June, and I was like, wait a second, what? And then they contacted me today and said that it's set for tomorrow. They just like have to go through, because apparently, and I found this out from Smolecule's channel, that there's a lot of people that are like signing up for multiple appointments and then dropping them until they get their first one, which is just really sad because that's a big burden on the system. But it was like this weird moment. I have a lot of friends who are in healthcare, and they just said that it was just very exciting, and some of them cried when they got their vaccine. But it was just a very surreal moment to be scheduling it, because I'm like, this has just been such a difficult time for so many people, and like to get a little bit closer towards again the new normal, it was like crazy. But actually, the crazy thing is, it's like Twitch and like imagining cons, and then also our friend Mrs. Moy, her birthday is today, and I like those are the two things that I had like a moment where I'm like, people's birthdays and board game cons. Like me being excited about birthdays, that's normal, but me being excited about board game events is not normal. But it's been just this fun, as we said, fun community that has just kind of developed my interest a lot more, because I feel like I have a community that's a little bit more like-minded than me, because we just play games amongst our friends. We don't really have people that we know because of board games. It's like friends who play board games also. But I believe it's you think you've went. We've talked, sorry, so much, so I'm gonna go.
I think I've gone like a few times
here.
I am gonna go here and grab this.
Oh, thanks,
The
Crypto.
Night of Winter.
Legend says the cards are really great quality, also in Cat Rescue. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at it.
Oh yeah. Cat Rescue sounds pretty cool.
No! I put this here because I have a 3 and I was gonna grab it.
You can sew more things in there.
But I can't. I can't harvest it. Andrew, messing up my plans. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. Now I'm having analysis.
Okay. I am gonna go here.
Yeah, part of me, Grip Dog, was like a little concerned about what? I can't harvest in there. I have such a good move. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go here. I'm just gonna dump it in here. Part of me, Grip Dog, was like a little bit, because I'm a therapist in a school district. And so I am not like technically recalled into work for in person. So I was like, oh, I don't really want to take anyone's spot that is like going to be working in person. But I've talked to a couple of friends who are in healthcare, and they were just like, just schedule it. It's like, I think if everyone starts being like, oh, you go, no, you, like, go ahead, it just kind of ruins the system.
Yeah, they're trying to get through as many people as possible now.
And I think for me, at least working in a school district, it's like so up and down if we're gonna be opening, if we're not, hybrid, all at home. It's just all back and forth, and I just want to be ready when they say, the green light. But oh, it's summer. It's summer, so I can do this. Watch this. I'm gonna play 9, and I'm gonna grab this one and this one.
Dang it! I had a 9.
Yes.
All right. Play 5.
I don't like Andrew when he messes up Pia's plans. Thank you. When I'm Team Pia. Oh, I can still grab more cards.
You've been grabbing cards?
Well, I just finished. I cleared out my.
Yeah, you should always have 4 cards.
I know. I'm just saying I cleared out most of them, but so it hasn't changed any.
Well, it would have changed.
Oh,
this is
sorry.
A forgiveness moment.
This is another forgiveness moment. I'll grab this.
Because we both should be grabbing them each time, so.
Okay, your turn.
You may have had less cards. Or...
That's okay. What can we do?
Winter.
And then I can't play this one, so. And it's a fool! It's a fool of a toque.
No.
Grip dog. Agree. Many people need to get them as soon as they're eligible. The faster we all get them, the better. That's true. I was thinking about how like it just slows down.
The board game conventions are counting on it.
That's the thing where it's like if people are delaying and then other people are then eligible, but they were delaying, yeah, it totally slows everything down. And then oops, hit the caps lock by accident. That's okay. I feel like I accidentally hit caps lock. And sometimes I feel like I want to add caps lock, but I don't know these people in person and they might misunderstand my tone. Anna Marie JP. Anna or Anna? We have a friend that goes by Anna and it's written that way and I always want to double check. But yeah, thanks for joining us. This looks interesting. It is interesting. Thank you for joining us. It's a game that was designed by a couple in from Portland, Oregon. Based off of a game or a prop piece from a music video from the band the Decemberists.
Griffdog says the new mass vaccine site in the area will be doing 20,000 a day. That is wild. Is that
that's
not
the
centrally?
stadium?
It's not CenturyLink anymore.
The stadium the Seahawks play, correct?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
whatever
5,
it's called
6.
these days.
It's always changing.
I have 28, by the way.
Whoa, 28 what?
Cards.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't counting cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Andrew.
Aha, 4 points.
Oni, just down the road. Portland, not vaccination site. LOL. Yes, the sports field. Yeah, it's a very, like, we met the art director, and her goal was to make the game feel as classic and as nostalgic as possible while still being very modern. So I really like that. She said that she did that because she used like the materials, so she wanted to use cloth and metal and glass, like this piece or the little marble pieces here, instead of like plastic.
Ooh.
And oh yeah, what?
Board Game Blitz followed us, but keep going.
Oh, thank you for the follow. You can go ahead and
so we do analog alerts here, Board Game Blitz, and this is Dr. Alan Grant. He comes up to this camera and says, "Hi, Board Game Blitz. Thanks for the follow. I was just digging up an ancient. What did we say? Oh."
An ancient bear.
An ancient bear, digging up ancient bear bones and teeth, and it's very interesting work. But I wanted to take a break and say thanks for the 4-hour follow, Board Game Blitz.
Maybe on my personal account. Well, this is Crystal. Thank you for joining, Crystal. Yes, managing multiple accounts is tricky sometimes, for sure. We had the other day. I was cooking some food in the kitchen, and Andrew wanted to play a board game, and I wanted to make this recipe, and so I was watching Brambeard in the kitchen, and then Andrew was playing a game, and like I was chatting with them, and then they were gonna raid somebody, and then they were like, "Wait, BoardgameSPAM, are you streaming right now? Are you in the middle of streaming?" I'm like, "Oh no, that's my husband. I'm watching you guys because you're more interesting right now."
Whoa! You didn't say that part of the story last time.
Well, that's what I said. The party was over there, but they were playing a game where there's a lot of miscommunication, so it was very funny.
We got some subscriptions being handed out here.
Oh my gosh.
25 subscription, tier 1 subscriptions
Tricky 20
to the crowd. Tricky 20 is gonna be a guest star soon. More than
Tricky 20.
Thank you very much. So our analog alert here for subscriptions is the Monkey King, who comes up to the camera and says, "Thank you, Tricky 20. Thank you for the subscriptions. And thank you for the gift subscriptions. And thank you for the other gift subscriptions. And thank you for gifting some more subscriptions.
And thanks for being our neighbor.
And thanks for being our neighbor. And thanks for wanting to play games with us."
Tricky 20's favorite game is Age of War.
Check it out, Dr. Knizia. It's a small box dice game. Very, very good.
But I found out the other day that he's willing to play and wanting to play Power Rangers. So Tricky 20, we just played it earlier today. It was really fun. It's fun in the like best like sense. Like It's like watching your favorite like TV show fun. I don't know how to explain it. It's like watching your favorite movie fun. I don't know.
Also, Tricky 20, if you want to come on the stream, you're in our building. So you can come down and say hi and give an acceptance speech.
An acceptance speech.
Or a gifting speech if you'd like.
So Andrew
and then give everyone a preview what they'll see when you come onto the stream.
So Andrew got points for. Did you get your points for the most cards?
I did. Yep.
And then most summer cards. 1, 2,
I have
3, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6.
Ooh,
oh, what do we do with
tie.
ties?
It's gonna be me because it's the most.
Oh, it's those pieces. Yeah. Oh, we got some bits. Thank you.
Wow.
Banyo BG.
Thanks, Banyo.
Banyo BG. Is this the same Banyo that was in our stream yesterday? Because it was Banyoteca yesterday.
So
there could be more than one Banyo out there.
Confirm or deny,
Thank
Banyo.
you, Banyo BG. Thank you very much.
Working piece. Whoa! I stepped away for a minute for ice cream. I actually got some. We ate some ice cream right before the stream started. It was very tasty. Is getting his audience today. Lurk. Gifted food. I have Age of War. It's fun. I really like Age of War. It's a good time.
Yeah, I love it. It's like a variant on Yahtzee, kind of. It's like Yahtzee plus area control.
Big Keep Wampum says Pia must read this aloud. Skirt, skirt,
skirt,
skirt.
That's like the Filipino.
Oh my
voice.
goodness!
Yeah.
In the Philippines.
By the way, I got one. Let's finish this.
Sorry, we
1,
have
2,
to finish
3,
skirt.
4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, Andrew gets negative points.
1, 2.
I
and
need
then
it.
I've got 2 of these cards and
I got 2 of these cards. 1, 2.
1 fool. And then we can talk with the chat while we set up the next round.
Banyo BG. Is BG stand for board games, Banyo?
1, 2, 3, 14.
Oh my gosh,
17.
Andrew.
So
Okay,
close.
I don't really know if I can catch up, but we'll see.
Oh.
I just want to pull
Just a
off
couple
a
good
really
hands.
really cool move.
All right, so now you can. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, in the Philippines, they do these things where, and I don't know if this is the same here, but you can download special voices on Waze. And there's a really famous Filipino, I don't know if it's a streamer or YouTuber, but like, I don't even know if I don't want to tell the story because I can't do the like funny voices that this person does. But like, they just do really funny sayings for like when you've arrived to a location or like when you turn left or right. But one of the things that they say, Big Heap Wampum, is like they in the middle of the directions, the driving directions, they say skirt, skirt. Rain and Jar, yes, I was born in the Philippines, and I moved here when I was like 5, turning 6. Hi, Ambi.
Ooh, Ambi in the chat. All right.
Ambi, speaking of the other day, we were talking about Taiwanese designers. I was wondering if, because is Night Market a Taiwanese designer, or is it just, but it's set in Taiwan? I was wondering if that is on your radar and if you would get it. Andrew and I have been discussing it, and it ultimately just makes us hungry.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's really selling it for me is the bubble tea,
the boba
wood silk screen component, I guess. I was like, every game needs a bubble tea, wood bubble tea.
Oh, Ambi says, not a Night Market isn't a Taiwanese designer. I got a review pre-production copy.
Oh, what?
We were disappointed in it though. Oh, that's a bummer. That was actually one of the things that was hard for me to like kind of tell. One of it is because I think we have not a couple of games like it, but I always like just like food related things, and I just have to check myself. I'm like
the theme's on point.
Yeah, just because it's like about food, like I need to be a little bit more critical. I can't just be like buy it. Ultimately, because we just don't like have a whole lot of space. I like the element of buying the ingredients and then like making the ingredients, but I wasn't like super I wasn't super sure about like the gameplay, but also I have a hard time imagining how I will like something too. So, but I like hearing your thoughts about it.
Oh yeah, there's lots of chat going on. Disappointed in the gameplay, Brandon Jar asks, and she's disappointed in the gameplay and the way it links to the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is something when it clicks, when like the theme like fits with the gameplay, that works really well. Like um I don't know if I could ever really like explain it, but Rococo is one that I like remember thinking like, oh, this is what it feels like when it clicks, when like the actions click with like what you're doing. And so I think now, unfortunately, now my like standards are really high for like, oh, if it's gonna be super thematic, then like I hope it feels like this. Because there's been games that we really like on theme, work very much like theme oriented, and like love when the theater of the mind is activated. But also it doesn't, like, it still has to be good, because we've bought a lot of games on theme and then we're like, oh, that was fine. Like, we're not very big review, like we're not super critical about games, but the thing is, it just ends up sitting on the shelf, taking up space.
I would say Formosa T might be one where it was, I thought the gameplay was a lot of fun and the combos were really satisfying to pull off, but the connection to the theme didn't feel and maybe it was just because I think you were having a really hard time with some of the iconography as we were playing it, but it didn't feel as strong. And I think part of it was because you'd send your tea masters to the central board to make the tea, but then tea would be made on your private board, and that disconnect somehow. I don't know. Board games are alchemy. There's some magic put in some games, and I don't really know what it is, but it's like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. But it's also individualized too, where it might make sense. The theme might really connect and make sense for one person and not for someone else. I think Vital Lacerda games probably fall in that area where for some people, the people who really defend his games and love them, it's because they make a lot of logical sense for the theme, and the people who don't like them
it didn't
say
click
the
with
exact
them.
opposite thing, which is like,
Which is like, how, who do you...
I don't know who to trust.
But I think, yeah, that makes sense, because it really made sense to Andrew, the Formosa Tea. But I realized when we were thinking about it, it was because there was one part of the game that I heard, which is like you're trying to get your tea to be like at the, what's the term? It was like the premium tea or whatever, and you get a little bonus. But I think when I heard it, I thought it gave you a lot more points. So I was focusing on that. And then the moment, yeah, I wanted the bonus, and then ultimately it really didn't get me that many points. But the moment I realized that I shouldn't have been doing that, and then I was just playing it, I was like, I want to play this again, because after that like thematic link, that like you want quality tea, you want just to sell some good tea or whatever, I think that the gameplay would have like fallen in, like
you got stuck with on trying to make the best possible tea, which I like. I think being able to make the top tier tea in that would be like an insane task. Everything would have to align. It'd have to be like sunny out. You know, it would be like being able in Calico, which we were talking about earlier. It'd be like trying to get a perfect circle around two of the, or not circle, around the hexes in Calico. It's like no one. I'm sure like one person has ever done that. You know.
But it makes you feel
but
like
it makes you feel like you can, yeah.
Oh, totally.
Oh, we got a lot of chat here. Just gonna kind of skim through.
Yeah, I think, Ambi, that does make sense though, because if it's so, there's part of it is like expectations, right? Where like if it seems really thematic and then it falls flat, it's kind of like, wait, what happened? But if there's not as much promise to the theme, it's just like part of how things look, I think it wouldn't feel as bad if it didn't deliver. But yeah, I love. Ambi says I love thematic Euro games.
Yeah, and then Griffdog says Stella streamed a game that is kickstarted this fall called Steam Up. It's a dim sum game, which is another one that's like instantly interesting to me for the theme. But I don't know if it's going to be a good game. But sometimes the theme can be strong enough on an okay game to make it a good game. In my mind.
Well, it depends if it's your thing.
If it's like speaking to me. But I think that's true for everyone.
Oh, Steam Up looks great. Couple of local designers from Vancouver.
Oh, great,
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, ultimately this just makes me hungry, and I think
Board Game Feast says plays like Splendor, but with dim sum. If there was a retheme of Splendor with dim sum, I would buy it like
in a heartbeat
immediately. Griffdog says Stella's stream. She plays it with the designers online. Ooh, maybe I need to check the bottom.
Yeah,
and take a
Brain
look
and Jar. That's what I watched. I was watching someone's YouTube video, and then it like moved on. It probably was before you play. It linked on to the next No, it wasn't YouTube. They were on Board Game Barrage, and they were talking about Vital Lacerda, and it was like I really want to try it. Because like you said, if the theme links like how you mentioned when theme melds well with mechanics, so good. Hey, Time Roller,
how's it going?
I'm gonna stock up on Shumai and I don't
trust his bow.
Yeah.
I didn't pronounce that well, but yeah, it would be hard to play a dim sum game and not just go for the ones you want to actually eat.
Ooh.
Instead of the other ones.
You just forgo strategy and you're just going for hunger.
Yeah, Ambi says Lacerda games are definitely thematic heroes. I love Kanban. Sell Kanban to Pia because we have it. We have the Kickstarter, and he looked at it and was like, I don't know about that. I don't know.
I'm not big into cards, but the thing is, we also have Escape Plan, and so I
want to play Escape Plan first.
Yeah, I think Escape Plan thematically is more intriguing to me, but Kanban, you just want to play them. I think
Kanban looks really cool, but I think the idea of a factory floor, I think it's funny to want to play like a middle management person in a factory floor, which is just kind of a comedic role to be in for a game. But also, I think it makes sense for a more mechanical game to have a more mechanical theme.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in my mind would slot together well.
Yeah. We gotta play the Vital Lacerda games before I finish maternity leave, because then my brain is like not fresh because it's doing something else. It's taking care of a small baby. But actually, you know what? Maybe that's the impetus of like we got to get through our Vital.
Yeah, let's try to do it.
All right, you heard it on stream. Andrew, clip it.
Someone clip that. Pia promised to play both 2 Vital Lacerda games.
I think I need a cooldown of a different game.
Oh, yeah, we can have a week between them. You still have enough time.
Yeah, we could do like a Vital Lacerda game and then like something super like fun and like popcorny, like Power Rangers, and then. I love that board games have different like moods and different things that like make people excited, because ultimately what I love about streaming is like seeing people like have fun and be excited about the things they're excited about.
Gripdog says, I'm also excited to play the new capstone game Coffee Traders when it comes out. I have it pre-ordered in a big Euro about fair trade coffee. Yeah, I saw that up for pre-order, and I have too many really heavy Euros that I haven't played, so I couldn't justify myself buying it, but I loved the coffee theme. Ooh, especially the fair trade coffee theme.
Yeah, my dad did research and development for Starbucks, like right when Starbucks was like hiring people doing research and development. He has a degree in biology, and they hired basically like a bunch of like immigrants to like work in their research and development what's it called, like section, or I don't know, was it their department, and got a bunch of people, including my dad, like food science degrees. It was pretty cool. And so anything coffee themed is also similarly to dim sum.
Legend DM said, I have two friends that was having lunch one day. One girl said to the other girl, the dim sum was really good for lunch today. But they didn't have dim sum, so I was really confused. Then found out it was their code for a cute guy who walked by. That's a pretty good code word.
Good. You know what? That is a good code word because the dim sum is usually good today.
Yeah.
If you were having dim sum, at least in my experience,
it's gotta be fresh.
I feel like I haven't gone to dim sum and it be bad.
I haven't had it for so long.
I know.
It's so sad.
The last dim sum we had was actually in Vancouver, BC, probably, right? Or no. Well, we've gone to places with dim sum, not like a just dim sum only place. But anyways.
Sorry, we like totally derailed ourselves here.
This is great
conversation. I'm having fun talking. So if you guys are, tell us to get back into the game if you.
Brandon Jar says, I haven't played Escape Plan, but Kanban is fantastic. It works so well, and Sandra, the mean manager, is awesome. She makes the two-player game really good. Ooh, yes. Brandon Jar, you are definitely my inspiration for playing the heavy Euro. So it's like Andrew's like, oh, this game is like a pretty heavy. What is it? The one that they were playing earlier. That we
Anachrony.
Yeah. Do we have that?
We do.
We do have it.
The Essentials Edition, which is it's kind of like Viticulture Essentials Edition. It's like a second edition. That makes it has all the just the right add-ons. I don't know if it streamlines it too much, but like
adds the things you need.
Yeah. To make it the best version.
Anyways, it's great to see people streaming the heavy Euros because it's the hype that I need to get.
Well,
the
Andy
game
said
player.
Sorry, I just got excited about. She said she made a song parody about Kanban that might sell it. Can you drop the link to that if you have that in the chat or because that'd be great. Grip Dog the Gallerist is one of my favorite blends of theme and mechanics from Lacerda. Yeah, everyone has a different favorite Lacerda game.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I like that.
It's one of the few designers that I feel like I never see consensus among people, which is the best one, but just a lot of the favorites.
But you know what? I like that because I think that means that there's something distinct about each game, and it's not just like a little bit different just to sell another game, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Andrew and I really like games that are doing something different and distinct. Mm-hmm. I think like we I don't know, that just makes us really excited. I think that's why we like a lot of indie games because I don't know, they're just trying something new.
Beaten path or whatever.
Like they're not beholden to like trying to sell a bunch of games. They're trying to find their little niche that really like it. So I mean, if anything, that's selling Vitalis to me right now, where it's like people having their own favorite one. Mm-hmm. Is like, I don't know, super exciting.
Yeah, you just got to find the one that you connect with on the theme. I'd love to try On Mars just because I've heard such good things, but I've also heard it's its most complex game.
Oh, I see.
So it'll be one I try at some point. But when I had to pick the two, the Kanban, it was that Kickstarter that I got in on it, and then I wanted to try one more. So Escape Plan, I thought the theme was the most intriguing to me, and then also I heard it was one of his quote-unquote lightest games, which I say in quotes because the people who don't like Vitalis say it's way too complex like the rest of his games. But yeah, we do have an Anachrony Brandon Jar, and that's like what I was saying. I've got way too many heavy Euros right now to justify purchasing another one. We have Anachrony sitting on our shelf. We've got what's the name of it? Arkwright, which is that one is actually sitting on the possibly being traded away at some point soon because again, too many right
games.
Now.
Yeah. Bonio says, I used to stream my Gloomhaven campaign, but COVID. Oh, bummer. Yeah, Andrew was just getting into Gloomhaven with our friend Moy, who was in the chat earlier, and then COVID happened, and it's on hold for now.
Mm-hmm. Legend GM said he's gonna go watch the Andy YouTube. So see you in a minute. And then
report
Andy
back.
Said, report back. I remember Lacerda did an AMA on Reddit a long time ago and said he designs the mechanics to fit around the theme, which explains why his games are so thematic and also lots of complicated mechanics. Yeah, I think it's always a balance between making a game that feels like whatever it is supposed to be simulating, and then making it accessible. But I don't mind if it's pretty complicated. I think the process. I think sometimes when it's a more complicated game, learning and playing it well feels like winning, even if you're not beating anyone else because you're like, I'm doing it.
I'm flying.
I'm flying. Yeah, and then Griffdox says Blizzard is launching a Kickstarter this year. That might be my new favorite when I play it. Steampunk Weather Machines. What? It's called Weather Machine. Not another Kickstarter.
And Andrew says that in the best possible way.
In the best possible way. I
Andrew wants
them all. I still haven't played Escape Plan, but my husband did, and he liked it a lot. It's been hard for me to play new heavy games since the babies were born. Yeah. And yeah, you said babies, which was, I think you said
twins, right?
Yeah, that's got to be a ton of work.
But then they're so fun when they're older and hanging out with each other.
Kevin Equals Team Lisboa, but the Weather Machine sounds amazing. And then Ambi says she loves or likes Arkwright, which I've heard really great things. It was Shut Up and Sit Down who kind of sold me on that one for being literally a brown box. Which is the blandest looking of games, but the theme is supposed to be cool. And then Banyo asked if we played Predaporter. We haven't played it, but we did just get it recently.
Because it was part of Ruel and Andrew talking about it.
Yeah, we were talking about Rococo. We were talking about Predaporter, just as two fashion themed board games that are not like intro games or anything, but like they're really meaty board games. And so I found one cheap on the secondhand market, and I was able to pick that up. But again, I probably shouldn't have, because too many heavy Euro games that I haven't played, so or that we haven't played. We'll get around to it.
Well, here's the thing, Ambi. When Andrew says we might be trading it, it's the list that Andrew has where he's like, I think I'm gonna trade this because it's just been on our shelf of not, like, we haven't been able to play.
Our shelf of disappointment.
Our shelf of disappointment, or just like we haven't found the people to play it, and it's just longer, and like more and more time has passed, and it just hasn't gotten to the table. But then Andrew does have this qualifier that's like, but I want to try and play it before it like leaves our house. So part of it is like, we'll play it, and then if we like it enough, then it's probably gonna stay in here.
Yeah, that's true. We did that recently with this was on the stream, Sanctum, which was a Czech Games edition that I heard relatively negative reviews on, but I wanted to try it before I put it up for trade. And then
negative saying people thought that the last portion of it fell flat.
Yeah, but like some people don't like the boss on it, which is kind of what everything's leading towards. Board Game Barrage really it fell flat. The boss fell flat,
but we played it and really enjoyed it.
We really liked it. Yeah, well, I was surprised, and maybe it was one of those things where my expectations set me up to like it because I was expecting not very well put together game or fun game, and then when it was like really enjoyable, it's not a game that is super deep or that you're gonna play 30 times, but if you play it 5 to 10 times before you trade it, I think that's a win for me.
Well, and I think part of it is that Andrew has like tried to get me to play like Diablo style video games for so long, like very early on when we started dating. So part of me is just like, I kind of like this type of, it's like a Diablo style game as a board game, but doesn't make me panicky because the video games make me panicky. So part of me just kind of liked that, like there's a bit of a like a relational piece to it. But I don't know if anyone has any board games that they expected to not like and liked. I don't know. I'm curious about that. Chat, let us know.
And then we'll get back to the game here for a little bit. But Legends Jam is back from the Ambi video and says it's amazing. We're gonna check it out, of course, after this. We're
gonna tweet it. Yeah. Is that okay, Ambi?
And then Amy said it is okay to get rid of games that you haven't played, and I have. Trust me, I have. I prefer, because we've been playing more games recently. I'm trying to at least give them a chance before they go out the door. Because there's been a few that I've gotten rid of in the past where I've been like, okay, I'm really gonna have a really strict line, and I'm gonna try to reduce the number of games in my collection. And then in the last 2 months since we started playing a lot more games, Pia's like, do we have this? And then I'm like, well, we did. And then we didn't play it for like a year, and then we didn't. So
I think again, it's board game Twitch. It's board game Twitch, like showing me people,
showing you the way.
People playing, and me being like, I could be playing a game right now, and I will, and then I realized that. But the thing is, most of the games are just with our friends, and we can once COVID is managed, we can go and play those games with our friends. I think that was the main thing. A lot of it was just player count, or like Andrew was like, I want to give this to our friends because they can enjoy it and it not just sit in our closet. Andrew gets really sad when games, are not getting played. Andrew's like, this game, someone could be having fun with this game.
If we're not gonna be having fun with it, I hope someone can.
I'm gonna give it to a friend so that they can be having fun, or it could sit in their closet and they could potentially have fun later.
And then we had a couple things. Brandon Jar said Android Netrunner was not excited for that game back when I first played it 2018, but it's my favorite two-player game. And that's the deck building Android Netrunner. I've heard really good things about it. And Ambi agreed. Said also, but had a bad experience. Oh, good night, Ambi.
We set up the decks wrong, I think. Okay. So we played it wrong, yeah.
And then liked it, yeah. Griffdog Board Game Ramblings is doing a YouTube series this year, playing all 600 games in their collection and culling about 150 to 200. You can enter to win the culls and pay the shipping, and they will send you the games. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh man, Griffdog, that kind of reminds us of like, that's kind of how we treat when we go to the Philippines every 2 years. Mm-hmm. We bring a bunch of board games. I think we've said it on the stream where like our suitcases are basically board games, and then we just borrow clothes or buy clothes in the Philippines because we don't own summer clothes here. But it's great, and I feel kind of bad because I'm like, we end up giving them all the games basically, as gifts to my cousins, and I feel bad because I'm like, we're kind of re-gifting things we own, but they're definitely like, we wouldn't be giving, I mean, they're pretty expensive gifts, quote unquote, but ultimately the nice part is we get to play them with my cousins because there's not very many games that they like, their access to games is limited there. So like, it's like the games burn bright. Like we play games, like we play all the games like 10 times each, and then they get to live with my cousins, and they get to play it with all of their friends. Yeah. And it's pretty cool too because it's definitely more of a lending culture in the Philippines, just because again there's just less access. But I'll see them message each other online and say like, oh, who has this game right now? Like, oh, so and so does, or like, okay, we're gonna borrow it for a game night. And it's just like, if anything, it makes me feel like super happy that it's like the games are getting so much more play.
Yeah, I love being able to bring games there and leave them. Every once in a while, it's oftentimes a mix of games that I haven't got a chance to play with, and then favorites that I want to show people. So there's a few that come back with us. Like we brought Scythe, which I have like the original Kickstarter edition of that, and so I would have a very hard time getting rid of that. But most of them stay when we go, and I know that going in. I bring them expecting to leave them there, and yeah, just the fact that they get played so much more there than they would get played here is just really fun for me.
Yeah, well, at one point we brought our board games to a coffee shop because in the Philippines, like, their houses are smaller, and so like and also sometimes their parking is like pretty tough. So we'll meet up at like a cafe, and they're totally fine with people just like kind of squatting for a little while. But we brought so many board games, and then there was like a family that came over and tried to like take some of Andrew's board games, and like Andrew doesn't know who our friends of my cousins, and so like there's like these strangers that start coming up and like grabbing Andrew's board games at a coffee shop, and then we were like, I guess you could borrow it, just be careful. And they're like, oh, this isn't the cafe's board games. But, oh, no, these are our board games.
Yeah, we just brought a bunch of them.
And it's kind of like, it's a little bit embarrassing because a lot of social spaces are like at the malls, so we will like have each a backpack and like reusable bags,
like
of
IKEA
board
bags.
games, IKEA bags, going into the malls. And then they always do a security check there in the Philippines, and they're always like, what are you bringing? We have like 8 board games because we don't know what people want to play.
Yeah.
But they're like, okay. Usually they're like, American is, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, who's this guy? Who's this white guy?
But yeah, we take over like huge. I feel really bad, and then I realized
we order a lot of food.
we order a lot of food, but I realized it's just like kind of the norm there, where people just are, they like, hosting is not really, it's not like here in North America where you can host a lot of people because your home is really big. So a lot of the hangout spaces end up being like food courts or like cafes and whatnot. But it's really fun. I feel like their meetups are like, I don't know, it's really fun. I wish that there was like, I had more access to meetups here. But yeah, it's more about, I think, like personal game nights, I think, in like here. But like in China, when I went there, it was all about the board game cafes. So it's just kind of the nature of like, I don't know, the setting.
But cool. Yeah, Big Heap Wampum says I still want to play Scythe. Yes. Anytime, Big Heap Wampum, just let me know.
I think you'd really like it, and I really like Scythe.
We could do, I mean, 3-player Scythe would be pretty good.
Yeah.
But maybe we can have you as a guest on the stream. We play around a Scythe.
One day when we go to the Philippines, I'm gonna take a picture of Andrew trying to go through security check. It's hard because every entrance in the mall you have to do the security check, and it's just so many bags. I think it was actually, maybe it was Amanda Panda's stream where she was saying, maybe, no, was it you, Book of Nerds? You were saying that you just got a big bag for your board games and then COVID happened. Like, that was kind of us. We got like a designated bag that could kind of fit more games. And I feel like it had just like, it, like, COVID just happened, and then we got to use it like a couple of times. But anyways,
all right, let's finish this game. I only have
Andrew's
4
about
more
to
points.
win.
I only need 4 more points. That was a great little conversational break.
Oh,
I don't know what started that.
We were talking about, no, Ambi had brought up Night Market, and then we talked about theme and games. I am like so pumped up. I don't know if I could play a Vital Lacerda game, but I could probably play it tomorrow. I'm like hyped right now.
Yeah. Grifdog, amazing chat. Thank you, Grifdog. Book of Nerds. Yes, Lowell, we bought a nice one from Board Game Tables. Oh, Board Game Tables, yeah. They're pretty good.
And then, oh man, and then COVID hit, and then the bag will be used. I'm sure of it, Book of Nerds.
I think we've used ours like twice. I dealt this.
You dealt, so I go. Oh man, the 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna get the 7 and the 3 using my 10.
Shoot!
And I'm gonna get the sunny summer card.
Then I grab this 6 right here,
Oh.
baby, which gets me the bear tooth, and the rake comes out.
Oh yeah, the rake. Do you remember what that card was?
No,
As you do that, I'm gonna draw up to 5 and grab. Yeah,
The rake. Once during your turn, you must sow 1 card into the field containing the rake.
Oh, we did not do that earlier.
You may do this at any point in your turn, either before or after you played. This ignores restrictions of season, and sowing a face card in this way will change the season as usual. And then, when you claim the rake, each player must give you 1 summer card in their harvest pile. Cool. So, here we go. That's gonna make this round faster. It's gonna make it really interesting.
So that's only when you go to this quadrant, right?
No. Every turn.
Every turn. So you, sorry,
You always sow one card into the ring.
From
In addition to your turn.
from here.
In your hand.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with.
You're
this
trying to
one.
make rules up.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna sow this 5.
Whoa, what are you doing? It just goes here.
Oh, okay, sorry. 5, and then I'm gonna play this
What's going on over
11.
here?
And
Where,
then
you're using very creative places on this board.
I'm gonna go 11,
putting-
8,
it's
9,
like-
9, 10, 11.
What quadrant was that? Oh my god.
I feel really good about this turn, so this we might not be able to finish.
Ooh.
No, you're gonna get it. Actually, you're
9.
only 3 away.
I'm gonna grab this.
Oh, dang it, Andrew.
the river.
Oh shoot, that's
which
just.
is 6 cards.
Oh,
Yep.
this round is gonna go super quick.
And then I have to sew something into the rake.
3.
And it's going to be a 4.
So can I go like this? 5 to get this 5 and this 5?
Mhm.
Okay. Your
And then
turn.
you also have to sew before,
Oh, I have to sew.
before you
Oh,
get
before
that.
I draw. Let's go here.
These cards here. 8, 7. There's so many options this round.
The funny part about Andrew carrying all those board games into the malls and coffee shops is that I feel like in the US
14 to grab this 14 and to grab this 13 plus this 1.
/ North America, since we have a lot of
And then I have to
personal
sew
cards.
something.
Since we often are driving our personal cars, we have the luxury of like putting cars in our like the trunk of our car or whatnot. So it is very funny. And Andrew's commitment to board games is very clear. Because he's willing to carry all these board games around on his back and in his arms. Because the thing with my family is that they are very impulsive isn't the word. Opportunistic is sort of the word, but you just never know who is going to be at an event until they're there. So I'm like, Andrew, you should probably pack like a 4-player game, but there could be a couple other family members and friends that are coming. So you should have a 6 to 7-player game. And so Andrew's like trying to account for all these player counts because it's Christmas for him. It's like he can have the opportunity to play so many games that haven't been played. But in my mind, I think I'm limited by like self-consciousness. I'm like, I can't walk around with all these bags. These backpacks and bags of board games.
You know, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, in the Philippines, like there's a lot of times, like a lot of hangout social spaces are inside the malls.
Okay,
And
I'm
so-
gonna sew, and then I'm gonna grab. these
Oh, I
two.
forgot to draw it. Sorry. A lot of the social spaces are in the malls, so like Andrew will go in and he doesn't really want to shop. Oh, I'm gonna grab this 12 to grab 12 and
Oh, those 2 12s, brutal.
then I have
And
to
you have to sew.
sew. I'm gonna sew.
You can sew before your action. Too.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I'm gonna go here.
Mm.
Oh no. I'm not. I'm gonna go here.
Interesting.
Draw.
I'm gonna play 13. Grab that.
No!
grab this.
Oh, Andrew.
And so, what was my 13? King of Spring. Oh, still Spring. This is a fast round.
King of Spring. I'm gonna get the 11 here, and then I'm gonna sew.
TikTok, amazing chat.
that
Yeah, that was a great
fun.
break for chat. Loved it.
That's why you stream games, right? Because you get to chat with people.
Mm-hmm.
That was my sew. Oh, I have to draw up to 4. Man, we definitely got the like high card count turns.
Yeah. I am trying to.
Big Keep Wampum, if you're still there, have you seen? You've seen the Scythe like artwork, right? I feel like you would really
think he has, yeah.
Appreciate it. I don't know if we told you Big Heap Wampum, but after dinner time when we were in the Philippines, one of the cousins, the youngest cousin, would just start whispering Scythe, 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 because he wanted to play Scythe after dinner. And it was always really late, and I always was surprised that they were willing to keep going, but the whispers of Scythe always started at dinner time, and they were always answered. 8 and 8, and then I'm gonna drop this one.
Ooh, dropping a 3. Ooh, here we go. 10.
Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have put 3 there. I just opened that
And I got
wide
the
open.
rake.
No.
Which we don't have to
sew anymore.
No?
Oh shoot, I need to get. Do you just win after 17?
I mean, we'll see where we're at.
I don't think I can catch up. This is.
I could have negative points too, so because
Okay.
of the winter.
The winter 7, 9. Oh wait, there's no more draw.
Oh, you can't sew. That's auto.
I'm not sewing. I'm stockpiling.
Oh, that's a stockpile.
That's a stockpile, bro.
All right, I'm gonna stockpile as well.
No.
Ooh, Griffdog. Big Heap Wampums. Which site? Oh, Scythe. Yeah. I love the art. Griffdog took a minute and checked online. You can schedule a play through stream. Dim Sum with the designers on TTS by checking out Hot Banana Games. They have days and times in March.
Oh,
Whoa.
I definitely want to try that.
It's right up our alley anyway. Yeah.
And there's no more draw.
It's playing until we're...
That's so cool. Designers on TTS. I'm definitely going to check that out, Griffdog. Also, I feel like on the day that I schedule the play on TTS, I also feel like I need to schedule some dim sum afterwards or before. I have to have an intentional pairing or else I'm going to feel really like disappointed. Like I already went.
Oh, you went?
Yeah.
12.
No! I mean, I guess
The Queen of
that.
Winter. So that switches to winter.
Man, this turn
get the river.
was wild.
We never cleared 2 of these.
Yeah. We cleared the one that had the most. I'm not giving you that sunny card.
Interesting. Oh, I can't go into winter, of course. Yeah. Wow.
Count your card.
Hey.
1, 2, 3.
Four.
Oh no, Andrew won. I got 21.
Hey,
17.
17.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Sun. I just want to see 3.
So you get 2.
1, 2. I'm gonna get all the points I can get.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I got 3. So I got negative. So
1,
technically,
2.
I'm still alive. Andrew didn't win.
Fools. I've got 3 fools and 2 cards.
No, he won. He won.
Which propels me way past 17.
Oh, Andrew. Good game.
GG. This game is like a 20-minute game if you're going at full card speed.
We are terrible indicators
of the length of a game because we just want to hang out sometimes. And
yeah. Well, I think that's one of the I think this is where these type of games shine. These card games, you can just kind of chat in between, turns or in between rounds, which is what we kind of did.
Yeah, and you can also you can kind of end whenever you want. It's 2 17 points, but like any card game, if you play 1 or 2 rounds and have to go, you can just check who's further ahead and call it there.
Yeah,
and it feels pretty good still.
Yeah, but thanks everyone for staying, and as we meandered in chat through all of this, I mean, that's the fun part of board game Twitch.
Yeah, Kumi. Hey, welcome to the chat, Kumi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hanging out is half the fun of board games. Exactly.
Totally.
Board games are such a social thing that for me, for us.
Well, as Andrew looks for someone to raid, Kumi, do you have a Vital Lacerda favorite? Like a favorite Vital Lacerda? We ended up chatting about that, and we were talking about how everyone has kind of a favorite, so I was curious. Good night, Griff Dog. It was so good having you in chat today. And also, if anyone sees someone online that's playing that we should raid, let us know. We're usually kind of at the late end of things.
Yeah, usually not a ton of people online. Let's see if anyone we're following.
Legends DM says, "Wow, Cat Rescue game has awesome box, good cards, and nice placement of cloth."
Ooh, we got Rolling with Rock online here.
Oh, Rolling with Rock is online.
He's playing Pokemon, but
okay.
He introduced us. He's the one who introduced
All
us
right.
to.
Bye, Brain in a Jar.
Oh, bye, Brain in a Jar. Thanks for joining.
Our Board at Home is also online too.
Oh yeah. Which one would you rather do here?
Well, whatever you have, whoever has like less.
They're about the same.
The same. Let's do because who did we? Let's do Board at Home because they had rated us the other day.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, thanks everyone. There's a lot more people on tonight than I realized, but thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you. Maybe tomorrow.
For
Cardboard.
Club Cardboard. Some party games, specifically Wavelength. That's mostly it.
Yeah. And here we go, going into the raid. Board at Home, you said?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's playing one.